And the annual financial report, the audit, we're calling it a first read, starting on page 267.
Right. So Tim and I sent this off just late last week to my advisory council for finance. We're waiting to get some feedback from them. I would ask the Board of Education, the sooner you have any questions or feedback on the audit for clarification, if you could send that in to me, the easier I could get that to Tim and to our auditor, so that on the 27th, it's a formality of him coming, explaining the audit, answering your questions. The board's policy does not require the board to approve it. It does require, however, the board to review it before it's submitted. So technically, it was completed before the October 15th deadline we put in for an extension to be safe. But on the 27th, the board will have an opportunity in public to review the audit, have the auditor present, and then we'll submit it to the state shortly thereafter.
And what is the actual due date, the first due date?
October 15th.
The first one is October 15th.
And we have an extension for that?
Yes.
Okay. Some questions have been submitted prior to this board meeting on the audit?
But I'd just
No
like to make
questions.
a comment.
No?
I always find it fascinating that we get this for first reading, we read things that I don't think have been brought up before. If you look at page 273, there's a paragraph on changing accounting principles, which I don't think anybody told us we changed our accounting methodology for pensions. And then they had to restate 2013 and 2014. So one thing I would ask, rather than rely on, I mean, we have a couple CPAs here, they might be good at it, board members trying to figure out, is that between Tim and the auditors, they come and prepare to tell us what's different and why it's different than last year. And anything that's different, they've restate, they talked about the statements are different, the report's about 25 pages longer, haven't gone through the whole thing, so they put some new statements in here. Is that a new requirement? Is it something we should have done last year and didn't do? Or is it just something that somebody thought was a great idea? Let's throw a few more statements into here. So I always get a little concerned when I read this of why it's different every year.
I think the requirements for these audits change every year.
Okay,
So
well, that's
a lot
fair
of these
enough.
things that are added are just new requirements.
Okay.
So with that general concept in mind, bringing us what's changed.
Okay.
So if the board would have any other questions prior to the COW meeting for our discussion and for our auditor to be here, funnel those in through you, Doctor?
Yes, please.
And then we'll get them to hopefully an answer stage at our next meeting.
And what Tim can do is, the week before our next board meeting, so on that, before that board packet comes out, similar to like what we do with the bills, that gives you at least 7 or 10 days to work with the auditor to write up maybe a summary or some highlight points. And this way, you can send that out to the board as well.
Okay.
Does that sound fair, Tim?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Next, we have matters for closed session. Tonight in closed session, we'll have some matters involving personnel, student discipline, sale or lease of property, probable or imminent litigation, and collective negotiations. At this point in time, it's the second available area for visitor comments. And seeing no visitors in the audience that wish to speak, I'll spare us the long narrative. We have no discussion items. Is there anything else that the board thinks I've missed at this point?
No.
Okay.
Resolved that the Board of Education, Township High School, District 208, Cook County, Illinois, here enters closed session for the purpose of considering appointment, employment, or dismissal of employees, student discipline, sale or lease of land, probable or imminent litigation, and collective negotiation.
Second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Jepson. Thank you, Mr. Gritchen. That would cover, the motion would cover everything we need to do, right? Okay, let's move for the roll.
Mr. Jepson?
Yes.
Dr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Cindy?
Yes.
Mr. Welch?
Yep.
Mr. Gritchen?
Yes.
Ms. Ruska?
Yes.
Mr. Welch?
Yes. We'll now move to closed session, usual commuting time down the hall.